Yeah, do you know why? That's right over here. I heard her. She was loud. That's what I'm talking about. It's time for a girl fight. We're gonna bring out our first contender. Give it up for Lizzy Crowley.
All right, so the female fight, always exciting. The women are, getting more and more skilled, more accepted into gyms, sparring with men, training with men, really taking the craft a little bit more seriously. So, and that's what I like to see. The important thing is you have to represent women, when you go in there. And Lizzy Crowley is coming in here, and she comes from a fight family. It's a kind of an interesting background. Lizzy's mother was also supposed to fight on the card tonight. She has a long history in MMA and boxing. Her father actually was an MMA fighter, and what had happened was the mother and father were both going to try and fight on the same card, and the mother had made a promise to the father because he found out he had cancer, said that we're going to fight on the same card, and he ended up passing before they could get to that point. So now they both fight in his honor. So they're continuing the MMA career, and it's kind of amazing because her mother corners her and then usually goes back and gets ready for her own fight. They're both very successful, train really hard, and I said, how difficult is it, your mom being one of your coaches? And she said, no, we get along. We're just like every other mother-daughter when we go back home. So, she is coming from that fight family, so they're going to have that mentality at home, just to be focused, to be disciplined, eat right. And she is coming off a win, 28 seconds on March 16th. She picked up a victory. She comes in with a record of 3-1. Freestyle fighter from Extreme Fighting Systems.
Well, we've got a nice contrast in styles on our hand here, because her opponent, Angela Jennings, coming out of UFA, that's a Jiu-Jitsu academy. They've got Muay Thai, and they do train striking there. But Andre Garcia is a very, very talented Jiu-Jitsu fighter, and that is primarily a Jiu-Jitsu school. So you look at Lizzy's wins, all three of them by TKO, and her one loss, I'm fairly certain she got submitted. This is going to be has the potential to be an outstanding chess match.
Well, she was wrestled for 8 years as well. She does have that under her belt, and Taekwondo for 8 years. So, these women are coming off a martial arts background and bringing it into the cage.
And now for our next fighter, give it up for Angela Jennings.
All right, so Angela Jennings, she has a tiny bit of weight difference. I mean, she's about, 5 pounds heavier than Lizzy, but, she's coming up. This is her debut. So, she had a chance. She's getting a chance to step in the cage, and I asked her, are you ready? Because she did get a call a little bit late, in terms of signing up for this fight. But she said, I've been ready. I've been waiting for a fight and waiting for an opportunity, because as a woman, you always have to stay ready because there's not that many women, and a lot of times your fights fall through. So she has been ready for a while, and I spoke to Andre Garcia, her coach, and she said, she's a really tough girl, and she gets in there with the guys, and she's been wanting to fight. So she's looking for her first win in the cage tonight, and excited. She ranked 8 in this as a power lifter, so she's going to bring some explosive power as well. What those people do, those power lifters, I mean, they're strong, and they bring a lot of that muscle density in.
Well, you see, she's a little heavier and 3 inches shorter.
Right. Right, but I mean, you'd think that powerlifting as well. You'd have those, thick quads and those big, thick muscles as well to come. And obviously, a great corner working with her, as you said, Andre Garcia from UFA.
UFA.
Yes.
All their shirts say UFA on them.
UFA. And I'm just excited. I get excited for female fights and ones that I know that have a background and are going to put on a good contest, for the fans.
Yeah, we are well past the days of foxy boxing.
Oh, definitely. And Angela, who is coming into the cage right now, I had how far do you want to take this? She said, I did every sport out there, whether it was basketball, volleyball, track. I needed something else, and when I saw this, I went to a cage match and saw it, and I said, this is something I want to do, and I also want to turn pro. She's already thinking pro, and she hasn't even had her first fight yet.
It's good to have goals.
Yeah, for sure. It keeps you training hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your official introductions, coming to you from my right, out of the red corner, weighing in at 124 pounds, standing 5 foot 5 inches tall, putting her 3-1 record on the line tonight. Trained by Carolyn Bishop, Pickford MMA from West Branch, Michigan. Give it up for Lizzy Crowley! And now, coming to you out of the blue corner, weighing in at 130 pounds, standing 5 foot 2 inches tall, making her debut appearance here tonight. Trained by Garcia at Ultimate Fighting Academy, coming all the way down from Linden, Michigan. Give it up for Jennings!
All right, fight fans, here we go. Lizzy Crowley coming to us out of the red corner in the black and white fight tights. Angie Jennings out of the blue corner in the black compression shorts. Oh, real tentative tap of the gloves.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially, you know, Lizzy does have the experience, but when you look across the cage and see some guns like that, I mean, she's got better arms than some of the guys that are in the cage.
You know, and she got sucked right into what is the easiest takedown in MMA. She just kept punching high against a shorter opponent who just ducked under and then went in for a nice little takedown.
Wide base. Exactly. And I mean, Angela's nice and close to her corner. She gets a chance to listen. But she said she knows Lizzy's tough, and here's Lizzy with the reverse, and now trying to go to work.
Lizzy did a good job. She pinned that corner, and then just bridge and roll, and over we come.
And you hear Lizzy's mom in her corner. She also an MMA fighter, but her coach as well.
You know, Lizzy's got to try to turn this to the cage side so that this type of hip movement is taken away. She's switched to a triangle now. Angie Jennings, she needs to cut a little bit of the angle on that, turn more to, I'll tell you what, Lizzy's helping her. She was going the wrong way. Lizzy doing a good job of keeping the pressure just with those gloves in her face though, Kara. It's hard to think if you get hit for the first time.
Yeah, these girls just have to watch the breathing. You see a lot of them holding their breath because it's new. I mean, when you're newer in the cage, and that's what's going to drain you a lot quicker.
Angie especially, every time she tries to set something up, she's holding her breath and biting down on that mouth guard too hard.
It's nice how Lizzy pops up, gets a shot in, but, you know, again, we have to see volume, but Angela's so busy.
Angela doing a great job sliding through. Looked like she was going to set up a sweep with a triangle choke, but coming out of it fine is Lizzy Crowley. Angela's got to turn off that cage again. That's what neither of these girls are doing when they're on top. They're not taking away the movement of the bottom fighter, and you can hear you know, Garcia right now yelling armbar, because he knows his fighter has full hip mobility from the bottom there.
You are seeing Lizzy Crowley though with a good base where, because we've seen Angela try and flip things around, and you know, Lizzy's just not letting it happen.
Well, Angela just needs to try it to finish through something there. Oh, doing a great job of just powering her way up, but giving up her back in the process.
And you know, Lizzy just crawled right up there. I mean, she's a pretty crafty fighter. She really looks for opportunities to make something happen.
Well, she was a little bit high. Angie tried rolling her through, but then didn't turn back into it. Now able to turn into the guard.
You know, you saw Lizzy look for that armbar as well. I mean, she does look at every opportunity to get something.
Both of these girls have great movement from the bottom. That's not anything but an annoyance, those knees in the glutes like that. 10 seconds left.
I guess it depends on how big your glutes are, right?
No, it's, you know, you may feel it in the morning. Got to be careful. She's got a pass opportunity now.
Yeah,
that arm slipped out. They're exhausted, Kara.
Yeah, and that's what I said. Like the breathing is just pivotal in this game. I mean, that's as important as having a strike coach and a jits coach. You have to know how to breathe in there, because that 3 minutes can just feel like an eternity, and you got to be able to recover in between these rounds.
Well, when you let yourself slip into an oxygen-depleted state, it's almost impossible to recover it, because these girls both are obviously in great shape.
But you would think with Angela Jennings being a power lifter, she knows how to survive in an anaerobic state as well. So we'll see if she can recover quickly and come back in here for the second round. And over in Lizzy's corner, you see her mom, and unfortunately her mom was scheduled for a fight tonight, and the girl backed out. So, you know, she's going to put everything into this fight and make sure her daughter comes out with a W. How weird would that be, though, to corner your daughter? It's just amazing.
We see a lot of that.
It's
We've got
amazing.
UFC superstar over there, Darren Cruikshank, who coaches his dad.
Right.
So there's a tradition of that. You know, it's nice to see it making its way into women's MMA. You know, Ronda Rousey's judo coach is her mother.
Right. All right, here we go with round number 2. Lizzy Crowley in the long tights, and we're seeing Angela Jennings in the black compression.
You can see the fatigue in Angela Jennings now.
Yeah.
She's just not able to turn through. Now get it through, but she's got to be careful. Got to in the mount. Not. Oh, looking for the Von Flue here. She's giving up on it.
You just search for that Von Flue, don't you?
Oh man, that would have been beautiful. Now look at the separation she's got. She needs to end this fight from the mount, Kara.
Yeah, it was a great range. She's coming up nice and high on the shoulders. You're kind of limiting what Lizzy can do, but Lizzy's got those long legs as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, she needs to continue that crawl over to the cage side and get that head up off the mat. But in a lot of trouble right now. Lizzy Crowley needs to do something. If the volume comes from Angie Jennings, this fight's over. Turn it for an armbar. Nice turn, got to keep rolling through. Kara, she needs to just hold on. She needs to turn towards us.
Take your time.
Yeah, well, we'll see if Lizzy can keep fighting it off.
Extend it. Belly.
You know, the problem with that is if she rolls it back, she needs to look for the triangle setup. Had she simply kept turning through so that she was facing Lizzy Crowley's feet, this fight would be over. Right now, she's just given up the position instead. And she's
Great,
pinned.
yeah, great position for Lizzy to have Angela up against the cage like that.
Lizzy can start scoring now, and she needs to make up some of that deficit she acquired when she was mounted. And again, we're seeing that she's giving full hip movement to Angie Jennings on the bottom there.
A couple shots obviously landing on Angela Jennings. She's got that bloody nose and blood running across her face right now.
I'll tell you what, we've got an early contender for fight of the night here. These girls are really showing a high level of skill, and neither one of them has stop in their rotation there.
You know, and when you look at Lizzy, you wouldn't suspect, you know, it's hard to, you shouldn't judge a book by cover, but I mean, Lizzy she looks, you know, just skinny and, you know, up against a really tough, muscular opponent.
She's got that arm passed again. She's going to be tempted to set up a triangle, but what she can do, if she sweeps now to her right, Lizzy Crowley can't stop her, and if she turns for the back, Lizzy Crowley can't stop her.
Lizzy's definitely a tough opponent. I mean, she's fought off everything that she's faced so far.
Well, the fatigue now definitely a factor.
But you're seeing Angela still fire from the bottom, trying to keep active with that and keep something in Angela's face.
Now, nice. Turn through to the other side, going to crawl it right up in the mount. She can keep turning and take the armbar on the other side.
It looked like she was trying for it.
You know, she's so excited about being able to punch a training partner in the face, not training partner, an opponent in the face. You don't get to do that with training partners.
She looked like she was looking for the armbar, but her leg was caught underneath Lizzy's head. She almost couldn't keep making that move.
Trying for the armbar again. Lizzy needs to continue to step over. She's got about 4 seconds left, and we're going to round 3.
You know, we've almost seen some enders right near the finish of the round, but when you hear that 10-second, you know that you can hang on for dear life because you know you only have a few seconds to go.
Oh, they could break it off and beat you over the head with it, and you're not tapping. These girls are putting on a great fight for us, Kara. This is outstanding mixed martial arts.
You know, and it's so great to have that, especially in a big venue like the Joe Louis Arena. This is what you want to see. This is the type of quality that you want to bring in here, and especially at the female level to show that the women out there and the men that this is what women's fighting is all about. You know, you can see both corners working furiously, trying to clean off the ladies. They're full of sweat, they're full of blood, and they're trying to get them ready and loosen them up. You rehydrate them and recharge them for this next round, and it looks like they're squeezing Lizzy's nose. It looks like she's almost maybe broken her nose.
Well, she is absolutely exhausted. Both of these women in here just completely fatigued. You hear it so often, it's become a cliche, but the bigger heart wins this fight right now. On my card, it's 1 round apiece.